You've probably seen your fair share of paranormal clips, but have you seen this? And trust me, that's just the beginning. Today's episode is packed with cryptids and strange phenomena that'll mess with your head. I'm Steve, this is Classified Captures. Let's look at the first clip. The clip on your screen was captured in Colorado, and it's got the community talking. Just in case it's not already clear enough, you're looking at a creature that looks like some goat-rat hybrid. I know that's a funny way to describe it, but how else would you describe this weird thing? Some who saw it stated that they believed it was a chupacabra, but not everyone agrees. Despite allegedly having made the local news, a number of people believe this isn't real. At best, they believe this was created with AI, and while I can't entirely dispute that, AI clips usually have this distinctiveness to them that makes them easy to spot. I don't see that here. Maybe my senses have grown old or growing dull, but thankfully, you guys are always there to set the record straight, so what do you think we're dealing with? It's one thing to stumble into the supernatural and another to actively go around searching for an experience, especially with an evil spirit. The ladies responsible for the clip you're watching decided to stay back after a show in hopes of catching a glimpse of the lady in white. It took a while, but when things started getting quiet, and by quiet I mean a bit too quiet, they sensed an ominous shift in the atmosphere. At that moment, the dogs began to bark, and instead of seeing that as their cue to leave, they stayed behind, eagerly waiting for whatever was responsible. They didn't have long to wait, because from a distance, they spotted the lady in white, and she webbed as she approached them. When I got to this point of the video, I realized that the person they'd been trying to see was La Rona. If you've been on this channel for a while, then you know that she's the last kind of spirit anyone should be messing with. Maybe they didn't get that memo.
Sí, salió de ahí del monte. Mira. A ver. Mira. Ay, no mames. Ay, no. A ver, enfoca. Es que se borra. Mira, lo acerco y se borra, mira. ¿Qué es? Uy. No mames.
Next, we got a clip that was uploaded by a lady who claimed that her dog would occasionally growl at certain areas in the house as though someone was there. She also added that there were times when the eyes of her dog would follow someone or something intently, but when she looked around, there was no one around. In the beginning, she thought nothing of it, but when her dog started growling, she set cameras around just in case. One of those cameras is responsible for the footage on your screen currently. Not sure if you can tell, but the camera is facing a door. The door opens, and there's a tall, grayish creature standing in it. It stays there for a few seconds and then moves away. Bear in mind that the clip has been slowed down by a lot to make it visible. This would mean whatever she saw is moving at a great speed. When she saw the clip, she felt this was what her dog had been growling and barking at. She felt this thing had been visiting as often as it liked. She knew it wasn't human, but she didn't know what she was dealing with. She then uploaded it so you and I could make an input. Aaron thinks it's a gray alien. What about you? What do you think? This photo was captured to commemorate a birthday celebration. Anyway, after they had enjoyed themselves and gone home, the next logical thing to do was go through the photos and reminisce. As the birthday celebrant went over the group photos with her party at the lake, something caught her eye. There was a little boy in the photos with them. The thing is, there were no kids at the party. In fact, it was an all-ladies gathering. This sent shivers down her spine, and she shared it with some of her colleagues. They encouraged her to post it online and seek answers. When the image made its way online, many individuals told her that they probably went to a haunted lake. While this would have spooked many, it made the woman sad to know they were out there. There was a little boy who was stuck near a lake because he probably suffered a violent death. This is the first time I've seen someone worried about a ghost instead of themselves, but hey, we can't all have hearts of stone, right? It's good to know there are good people out there still. Just when you think you've come across all the cryptids out there, you discover a new one. This image was captured by an individual who was exploring the woods when he saw something humanoid yet not exactly human crying over a small dog. After carefully looking at the features, he called it the Beast of Seven Shoots. I would have said strange Bigfoot, but it looks like the guy knows what he's talking about. For those hearing the term for the first time, the legend of the Beast of Seven Shoots comes from an area known as Seven Shoots Park in Quebec, Canada. Back in the early 2000s, a man took a photo of a waterfall during a hike and later noticed something strange lurking in the forest behind it. In the photo, there's a shadowy, humanoid figure standing just off to the side. It appears tall, lanky, with long arms, and many say it resembles a mix between a dogman and a skinwalker, a creature with animalistic features but unsettling human posture. What makes it creepier is the claim that the man's dog went missing shortly after the encounter, which led him to believe the creature might have been watching or hunting. Sound familiar? What really fueled the mystery was the fact that the creature looks like it had a dog's head and a humanoid's body. Almost like a werewolf, but thinner and more sinister looking. Some believe it's a cryptid, others say it's a spirit or interdimensional being that somehow slipped into our world. There are even theories tying it to Native American lore, suggesting it could be a Wendigo or another shapeshifter entity. Whatever the case, the image from Seven Shoots remains one of the more disturbing and convincing visual evidences in the world of unexplained creatures, and to this day, no one has been able to say exactly what the thing was. It looks like it loves to steal dogs, though. Let's just hope it doesn't end up stealing a dog belonging to John Wick. Haha, it might not live to tell the tale. Next, we visit the 90s, not for the fashion sense or great shows and music from that time, but instead for this. If you're confused by what you're seeing, you aren't the only one. The individuals who took and uploaded the image themselves were also confused. According to them, they decided to visit the extended family after they had their baby. While there, they took lots of pictures to, well, immortalize the memory. Anyway, when they developed the images, because back then it wasn't all digital, they discovered one of the images looked weird. That weird one is what's on your screen. It looks like some sort of being or spirit is standing in front of the child. Like most of these photographs, the parents swore there was no one there, yet somehow, the developed photo showed there was. Many in the community told them that they'd most likely come across the spirit of someone they didn't know. The spirit, according to the online experts, could have been living in the place where the extended family lived without anyone knowing. That doesn't make it any better, but would you prefer to live in a place where a spirit is and not know it was there? Or would you want to find out so you could take necessary precautions? While you think about that, take a good look at this image. What do you see? You see it too, don't you? According to the uploader of the footage, when he first saw the creature in the water, he thought perhaps he'd been in the water for too long. He didn't think it was really there until he took out his camera to film, and the creature showed up on it as well. It looks like a dinosaur or some sort of ancient dragon. At least those were his remarks when he uploaded the clip. He wanted to know what this was and create awareness. He probably expected a serious response, but all he got were people laughing and teasing him. They felt the video was AI generated and that it wasn't even well done. Despite his best attempt to prove this was real, no one believed him. They stated that at best this was most likely a movie prop from Jurassic Park. What do you guys think? This picture is also from the 90s, and the story isn't too different from the one we looked at earlier. The dog you see on your screen belongs to the one who uploaded the image. According to the uploader, the dog passed away and that naturally left a void in his heart. If you've lost a pet, you are all too familiar with that feeling. Now take a look at this second image. Do you see anything familiar with it? If it wasn't already obvious, the man and his dog are in the photograph. It looks like the dog is sort of in the back seat, but the odd thing, however, is the photo was taken after the man had lost his dog. It makes him feel like perhaps his dog was still with him and hanging out with him. I know it sounds like a bit of a stretch, but how else would you explain the dog showing up in the pictures when it was already dead? Stepping away from the 90s to something more recent, we got this vibrant clip that has many members of my team scratching their heads, including me. Have you ever seen anything like this? Personally, I haven't, but this was allegedly recorded in California recently. It wasn't just captured by one person. We got 2 different clips from 2 different individuals who have never met. Well, I'm not sure what to call what we are seeing, but some in my team decided to go with the Rainbow Bridge. Others called it the Bifrost and teased that Thor was there. While that made for a good laugh, it didn't explain what we are seeing. Some members of the paranormal community saw it as proof of aliens, whereas others felt Project Bluebeam was being fired up once more. But what do you think? It gets even more confusing with this photograph. Allow me to offer a bit of context. This photo was taken in the hospital. It was supposed to be the picture of a young lady who had attempted to take her own life. Although she didn't succeed, we can say that if she hadn't received help when she did, it might have been too late. The photo was taken by someone with her, and when the person reviewed the image later, what they saw was what you were seeing here. That's not the girl standing or crouching over the bed. That lady is actually lying down. The thing standing over her wasn't visible to the naked eye, but somehow was captured in the photograph. This has led many in the community to believe that it was some sort of demonic spirit waiting for her to die so it could grab her soul. Most people say she committed a serious crime by trying to take her own life, which had earned her a place in purgatory. Crazy, I know, but that's the only theory going around right now. Either that or the story and image are fake. Which do you think it is? I know some of you believe we love to pick on the rich and powerful, but that's not the case at all. Sometimes we just find them in situations that make it hard to ignore. Take this capture of Justin Bieber, for instance. Doesn't he look like he's in a trance? This happened at his own show, and it's got many people talking. Most individuals in the community simply expressed sympathy for him and stated that he's just a victim of an evil industry. Some argued that he might be on drugs, whereas others stated that he might have been forced to do unspeakable things in his youth, and these things are just the aftermath or consequences. It took a lot for me to include that in this script because even I recognize it when someone's been taken advantage of, and the last thing I want to do is become another voice that would hurt them. When you say a prayer, say one for Justin and all other young kids and adults who may have been taken advantage of by the industry. What would be your first thought if you saw something like this in the sky? For many in our community, the first word that comes to mind is portals. Honestly, I don't blame them because that's exactly what I thought too. A lot of people believe those strange lights or swirling patterns we sometimes see overhead and aren't just unusual weather. To them, they're brief glimpses into something bigger, moments where another reality seems to bleed into ours. The sky twists, opens up for a second, then snaps shut again, and even though it's over in a flash, the experience tends to stick with you. There are those who see many theories floating around. Some people think these are natural cracks in space and time, just random rifts that show up now and then. Others are convinced they are more deliberate, like entrances being opened up by something or someone that doesn't belong to our world. And the reports don't just come from one area. People have seen these things during thunderstorms, above mountain ranges, and even in the middle of a calm desert sky. Every time it happens, it feels like reality hiccups and something unfamiliar slips through. So, what are we actually witnessing? Could these be accidents, little tears in the fabric of our dimension, or is something out there intentionally opening these doors to peek in, study us, maybe even try to connect? Whatever the case, more and more people seem to be seeing them, and it's getting harder to brush it off as coincidence. All I'm saying is, the next time you catch something strange in the sky, don't be so quick to wave it off, because every now and then, it's not just a cloud drifting by, it could be a doorway waiting to close. This is one of the most confusing things I have seen in a while. Initially, I thought the little girl was just playing with another sibling or another toddler. The more I watched the clip, the more I realized that there was more to this scene. Whatever picks up the pacifier for the baby moves quickly, but if you pay attention, you can catch glimpses of its face, and from what I see, it's most definitely not human. Many members shared this thought, but one thing they couldn't understand was how the baby remained so calm seeing such a thing up close. Some believed it could have been something that usually appears to it. Others held the idea that it could be a family member, maybe its mother that had been digitally altered to look like that. Some also felt it might just be a good ghost or spirit. Personally, I don't see that. It's hard for me to see something like this and believe it's a good spirit, but maybe that's just me being ignorant and judgmental. What do you guys also think? Almost everyone I know loves their birthday, but that can't compare to how a mother feels on the birthday of her child. The photo on your screen was taken by a mother who was hanging out her kids on one of their birthdays. She took a photograph to serve as a reminder of the good times they had that day. The picture would, however, capture more than a beautiful memory for them. The photo actually captured a being I can only describe as belonging to the supernatural. There's a ghost-like woman in the background of the picture. It's got nice clothes on and seems to be watching the boys celebrate. One of the boys uploaded the picture asking if anyone could help them out. We didn't give any more info than I have already mentioned, but many in the community think it's just a relative who's been watching over them. They don't think the person is evil. This is a tough one though, but you've seen the clip, so what does your gut tell you? This was uploaded by a fisherman online. The person claims he pulled an alien from the deep waters. By that, I guess he means they came across what's on your screen while fishing at lower depths than normal. They believe it's an alien and uploaded it as proof, and many in the community bought into the idea and believed the men were telling the truth. Others, not so much. They felt the clip might have been doctored with AI. Looking at it, I understand why they think that, but the ones who subscribe to logic and the scientific method in the community think this might be a deep-sea fish that might have somehow ended up in the clutches or nets of these fishermen. We featured a lot of deep-sea creatures on this channel and even explained how their bodies are unable to hold up when they make it to the surface due to the differences in pressure. If this is indeed a deep-sea creature, there's a possibility that the logical ones, as I like to call them, are right. But then again, it's hard to say what is what in today's AI crazy world. What do you guys also think? Speaking of things that could potentially be AI, take a good look at this image. What do you see? 99% of you must be confused, so allow me to explain. The image you see on your screen was captured by a lady who was out to view an apartment, or so the story goes. She took an image and dropped it on her family page to show the rest of them what their place looked like. It was only after uploading the image and coming back to it that she noticed she wasn't the only one in the photograph. There was someone else on the right side of the image that appeared hunched over. Shocked, she checked the original image on her phone, and it was the same. Somehow, there was someone else in the photograph with her, and she did not know who. The weird thing is, when she took the photo, she was alone in the frame. Some members of the family who believed in the paranormal shared the photo online, asking what everyone else thought. Some thought the apartment was haunted and cursed, others felt she had a spirit trailing her. Whatever the case, she refused to get that particular apartment as she had never had such an incident until she went there. What would you have done in her place? If I had $1 for every time someone showed me this deer clip or sent it our way to review, I'd be a millionaire by now. That's a bit of exaggeration, but you know what I mean. When we first showcased this clip, we believed the deer had been knocked down. Later, someone mentioned that it had a neurological disease, so we explored that too. Today, one of you sent this to us, telling us that the deer is a not deer. Confusing, I know, so I looked it up. It turns out that the not deer is a creature rooted in modern Appalachian folklore, often described as something that looks like a deer at first glance, but quickly reveals itself to be anything but that. Witnesses say there's something deeply unsettling about it. Maybe its limbs are too long, its joints bend the wrong way, or its eyes seem too intelligent, almost human. Some say it walks on 2 legs. Others describe it moving with jerky, unnatural motions, or staring in a way that sends chills down your spine. It's the kind of thing you notice out of the corner of your eye and instinctively know something isn't right. This unnatural look and the limbs in the wrong places are the reason why the individual who revisited this topic asked us to revise it. To him, we missed an obvious case involving a not deer. So what do you guys think? This was allegedly recorded during a recent family gathering, and it captures something or someone that was not invited. Can you see it? The uploader of the clip has emphatically stated that it's a demonic presence that was spying on them during the family gathering. A few others agreed and stated that they had experienced something that was similar, but not everyone was on the same page. To some, it only looked like a demonic being because of the poor quality of the footage. They believed the individual outside the home who was spying is a little girl who was not invited to the gathering. Her face looks off only because she's wearing a sad look, like she's almost in tears. I must say I did look at the clip over and over and over, and I'm tempted to think that it might just be a sad, upset, neglected little girl. Maybe I'm only seeing what I want to see, but the possibility of it being that only broke my heart and made me sad. What do you guys see when you look at this? Do you see a sad little girl too, or is a demonic spirit out there? For the first time, I'm actually here hoping it's some sort of spirit and not a living child. Anyway, what say you? The first time I watched this clip, it took watching it again a few more times to discover and find out what was wrong. Can you tell me what's wrong with it? If you haven't figured it out yet, allow me to help. In the clip, we see a young man standing in front of the mirror trying to tell us something about his reflection. He puts his feet beside a shoe already set, as though he were trying to tell us something. When you look at the clip, however, it appears everything has been properly reflected, including his feet and the shoe, so what could be wrong? Well, pay attention to his shoes and their orientation. Do you see how his feet are reflected in the direction of the reflection? Now look at his shoes. Do you see it now? They are being reflected the wrong way. How do we explain this? Well, like most cases before this, we really can't, but most members of the community have added it to the "it's a glitch" collection. A few others felt the clip had either been doctored or had AI playing a role. This is one of those clips where I say nothing and look to you guys for your opinion. So what do you think is going on here?
En este video podemos ver un fallo en la Matrix en el cual el reflejo del espejo no coincide con este plano, como si hubiera otra especie de dimensión del otro lado del espejo.
In Scotland, there's an old house in a remote area. It's called a bothy. It's a simple shelter left open for hikers and travelers who need a place to rest for the night, and it's completely free to use, but despite the peaceful setting, many people who've stayed there claim to have experienced something strange. One YouTuber decided to test the rumors, so he made the trip out to the bothy, set up his camera, and prepared to spend the night. After settling in, he locked the door and tried to relax, but as the night deepened, he heard a knock at the door. When he checked to see who it was, there was no one there. This continued all night. By morning, he was determined to figure out what had happened. He went outside to check if perhaps someone had been playing tricks on him, but there were no footsteps at all. Not a single mark on the earth to suggest anyone had been near the door. So could the stories be true? Is the bothy truly haunted?
You've watched all my videos before, you know I don't do shit like this.
Scientists have pulled off something incredible. They successfully 3D printed a human ear-like structure under the skin of living mice, and they did it without making a single cut. They just used technology and biology. Here's how they did it. They used a special kind of 3D printing process that relies on near-infrared light. This light was directed through the skin of the mouse on a patch where they had injected a special bio-ink. This bio-ink was filled with cartilage-forming cells. Once the light hit the right spot, the bio-ink began to harden and form a structure that looked just like a human ear. The whole process took less than 30 seconds. In under half a minute, an ear-shaped structure had formed beneath the skin. This could be a game-changer for medicine. Imagine creating complex body parts or repairing damaged tissue without surgery or long recovery times. Just targeted regeneration right where it's needed. Of course, this is still early-stage research, but if this technique continues to work in larger animals and eventually in humans, it could open the door to reconstructive and regenerative medicine. What are your thoughts on this? A man decided to set up a motion sensor camera in his living room after he noticed something unusual. His wife had been sleepwalking at night, always heading into the living room. So out of concern, he set up the camera, but it turns out he wasn't prepared for what the camera would reveal. In the footage, you can see his wife walking into the living room in a dazed, sleepy state. She moves towards the dining area, and the camera quietly follows her as she drags out one of the chairs and sits down. But then something strange happens. The rest of the chairs around the dining table move on their own all at once, as if something invisible has just joined her at the table or didn't want her there. But what exactly was it? When the man and his wife watched the footage the next morning, they were deeply unsettled. The way the chairs moved left them completely alarmed. There was no explanation for this, except that it had to be paranormal. So, what do you think that is? A man recently shared a video online claiming that he might have captured a portal in the sky. In the footage, the camera slowly pans across the sky. At first, everything looks normal, but then a strange light flare appears, hanging in the air like a crack in the sky itself. As the camera continues to move, the flare gradually fades away, almost as if it's slipping out of view or closing up. Once the video was shared, people started debating what it could be. Some viewers were quick to suggest that it might be nothing more than lens flare or even moisture or dust on the lens. But the man who captured the footage insists that this wasn't any camera trick. He truly believes he caught something out of the ordinary. To him, this light in the sky was a portal. So, what do you see? A portal or just a light flare?
I think I caught one of those portals today, y'all. I really need y'all's help. I want you to watch how it's... Okay, so watch this. Watch. Did you see that? So I'm like slowing it down, but I want y'all to watch how it... Watch how the line... and the whole thing's gone. And I went back, look at it. Zzz, zzz.
We often say that we barely explored most of the ocean, and even that thought alone feels pretty unsettling. But believe it or not, there's something even more mind-blowing beneath the surface of what we think we know. Scientists have discovered that deep beneath the Earth's crust there may be a hidden body of water, one that holds more than 3 times the amount of water found in all the oceans combined. This water isn't in the form we're used to. It's not a sea or a lake. It's not even liquid or plasma. Instead, it's trapped in a strange form within a mineral called ringwoodite. Ringwoodite is a crystal-like substance usually found deep in the Earth's transition zone, which lies between the upper and lower mantle. This mineral acts like a sponge, holding water molecules in a tightly bound state. It's not the kind of water we can see or feel, but it's there, locked away in the rock. This discovery is huge. It challenges a lot of what we thought we knew about Earth's inner structures, and because of findings like this, some people have even started questioning ideas like whether our current model of Earth as a globe is even accurate. A few have even gone so far as to ask if the Earth isn't exactly what we think it is.
Crazy, right? It seems the more we dig, the more we uncover.
When I saw this clip, I immediately knew I was gonna get roasted for including it because, well, tell me why this was the first comment that caught my attention. I know we all hate low-quality videos, but sometimes they're worth discussing. I mean, take a good look at it. I can't be the only one who sees what looks like an alien ship dropping something or someone off on our planet, right? Well, that's what the uploader said. At least, he shared the clip hoping people would confirm he wasn't going mad. While some did say it did look like there was an alien ship dropping off someone, some in the community were just mad. They felt the uploader was trying to make fun of them because this footage to them looks more AI-generated than it looks real. Personally, I can understand why they're upset. Take a good look at the clip and share what you think. Could the uploader have captured something unique, or do the critics have a point that the whole thing is fake and he's just insulting our intelligence? Let's hear your thoughts. Still on UFOs, let's take a good look at this. This one was captured by a couple of kids out in the neighborhood at night. Unlike the previous one, this one's pretty clear. We see a UFO in the sky that appears to be shooting some sort of beam down to Earth. We hear the excitement in the voices of the kids who can't believe what they're seeing. They uploaded the clip intending to share their discovery, if we can even call it that. As expected, opinions were diverse. There were some who couldn't believe that the kids had managed to capture something so unique. They even mentioned they were jealous that the kids had been able to capture a real UFO experience at such a young age. Personally, if this is truly legit, I'd be jealous too, because they have their whole lifetimes to prove this. As we've come to expect, though not everyone's convinced, there are some who emphatically stated that the clip was most definitely fake. A few others have argued that the kids were most likely looking at a streetlight and not a UFO. They felt it was just a matter of perspective. Now, I don't know about that, but thankfully you guys have seen it too now. So what do you think we're dealing with?
It's a UFO for real, y'all. That is crazy. Y'all, that's crazy. It's a UFO for real, y'all.
A local in Australia shared a strange photo on Facebook after spotting something unusual that washed up on the shore. The image showed a long, mysterious object covered in thousands of bizarre brownish, transparent, rubbery-looking stalks. At the end of each stalk was a small white bead-like formation that made the whole thing look odd. The photo grabbed people's attention. Some thought it might be a deep-sea creature that no one had ever seen before. Others speculated that it could be some kind of alien life form or even a mutant species. When the image gained some traction, local authorities and marine experts stepped in to examine it. There were a lot of guessing at first, but eventually the mystery was solved. It turns out that the strange mass was actually a colony of goose barnacles. It's a type of marine crustacean that often attaches itself to floating debris in the ocean. In this case, they had likely grown on a piece of driftwood and possibly a fragment from a passing ship. Though they look strange, goose barnacles are completely natural. Still, if you've never seen them before, it's easy to see why people were spooked. A subscriber sent this in, and it's one of the more mysterious clips we've seen. They were out on a boat in the ocean when they noticed something strange. The calm waters around them suddenly began to shift, disturbed by something moving underneath the surface. We never actually see what it is, but we can see how the water reacts to its presence. Whatever it was had to be massive. The ripples and swells on the surface weren't normal. They moved with purpose, as if something large was gliding just below. There are countless legends and theories about sea monsters lurking at sea. Could this be one of them? Because from the look of it, no ordinary sea creature or even the largest ones we know could create this kind of movement on the surface. So what do you think is down there? This was sent to us to check out as well. Personally, I'm not really sure what to make of it. The uploader insists it's a real creature out there in the world. My gut and all my senses tell me this is AI. Maybe it's true. Maybe Julius is making a non-believer out of me. I just don't see this being real, but then again, I could be wrong. Can you guys share your thoughts with me on this one? What is this mesmerizing view? It looks like some kind of portal or an otherworldly structure carved into the earth, but surprisingly it's not science fiction, it's completely natural. This incredible formation is known as the Richat structure, though many simply call it the Eye of the Sahara. It's a massive circular feature in the middle of the Sahara Desert in Mauritania. From the ground, it may not seem like much, but from the sky, it reveals a stunning spiral pattern that looks too perfect to be real. The formation stretches over 40 kilometers across, making it visible even from space. For years, its origin was a mystery. Some believed it might be the impact site of a meteorite or even the remnants of a lost city. But scientists now believe it was formed by a combination of erosion and uplift over millions of years, shaping rock in a way that looks like an ancient symbol or a giant eye staring back at the sky. It's strange, beautiful, and just another reminder of how much wonder exists right here on Earth. Back in 2022, a woman in Monterrey, Mexico captured something strange on camera late at night. In the footage, you can clearly see a disc-shaped craft hovering in the sky. It had lights on it, glowing brightly and lighting up the area as it slowly drifted behind some buildings. The way it moved was smooth and quiet, exactly the kind of behavior people associate with classic UFO sightings. Now, Mexico is known as one of the world's UFO hotspots. Over the years, there have been countless reports, eyewitness accounts, and videos coming out of the region. Whether it's strange lights or silent craft seen hovering in the distance, Mexico has seen it all, which is why most people are convinced that this is real footage. So what do you guys think? Imagine going for a swim and suddenly coming face to face with this massive creature just beneath the surface of the water. Its eye is closed and it's completely still. At first, it almost looks like a hippo because of its size, but look closer. The face is smaller, so it definitely is not a hippo. Smaller fish are swimming nearby, and some of them are even nibbling or feeding off whatever's growing on its back, yet the creature doesn't move, it just floats there. Some people who've seen the footage are saying it's a manatee, which is one of the most gentle giants known to rest near the surface. And that could be true. So what do you think? Is it just a manatee taking a nap, or could it be something we haven't quite identified yet? Next, we visit Uganda to experience the mystery of the northern and southern hemispheres. This clip was recorded by some individuals at a tourist destination in Uganda. People come here to experience the differences in two hemispheres. First, they stand at the northern side and pour water into this strange funnel thing and then put a flower in it. Once they do that, the flower rotates clockwise, but when they cross over to the southern hemisphere and do the same thing, the flower rotates anti-clockwise. This simple experiment, if we can call it that, demonstrates how our planet's rotation affects things. Julius says it's called the Coriolis effect. I'm not a science whiz, so can someone tell me if he's telling the truth or not? If you haven't already hit the like button, subscribed, or even dropped a comment so far, could you please do so now? It goes a long way to help us make more of these videos for you. Thank you so much. Now back to today's episode. This snowboarder was filming after he'd fallen off his board when all of a sudden, this happened. A strange object flew over his head. It was so fast you almost wouldn't notice it, but with the slowdown of the footage, we're able to make it out. It's a flying disc that looks like a saucer. Could it be one of those famed alien crafts, the kind often whispered about in extraterrestrial tales, or is there a more grounded explanation, such as it being a human-made drone simply cruising through the wintry air? Some skeptics say that it's all just movie magic, edited to make us guessing. But what do you think? A hoax or real-life alien craft? My money is on the hoax part, but I'd love to hear you too. Just a quick reminder before our next clip comes. If you still haven't liked, commented, or subscribed, could you do so right now? You wouldn't want me to send a Sasquatch after you now, would you? A man from Saudi Arabia was out one night exploring an abandoned house when he found pictures on the wall of a little girl. As he continued to search around the house, he began to hear noises that suggested he was not alone. He called out, hoping to get the attention of whoever might be there, but saw no one. Despite the unsettling sounds, he pressed on, still calling out as he moved toward the source of the noise. The trail led him to some stairs to the rooftop where clothes were hanging on a clothesline. As he walked by, he noticed something strange. Between the hanging clothes, he saw the pale face of a girl with pitch-black eyes. Terrified, he backed away, but when he looked again, there was no one there. Oddly enough, the face he saw resembled the girl in the picture on the wall downstairs. It seemed that he might have encountered the ghost of the girl, but how was she there? Did she perhaps die in the house, or was it an entity that had taken a form? Imagine seeing this while out on the highway with your friends. The driver of the car does not appear to be human, with that large blue head and faint blue glow around its body. The creature didn't seem to notice them as it just continued to drive off as if it was a normal day on Earth, except it was not. They could have just run into an alien. Aliens are a hot topic these days. Despite the buzz, we don't know for sure if they are already among us or if we've ever made contact. Imagine Aaron's and my surprise when we came across this footage. What do you think's going on here? A real alien casually driving around, or a cosplayer going home from one of those cons they usually organize? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section. If our next clip proves anything, it's that the pace of technological advancement can sometimes leave us wide-eyed, or in this case, possibly red-eyed. In this extraordinary scenario, this man has a smart eye lens on with a charger discreetly positioned on his eyelid, which is also connected to another device on his temple. It's like living in a sci-fi movie, isn't it? Before you think of getting yourself one, take a good look at his eye. Just look how red his eye is. It leaves us wondering if this is even safe to use at all. Now, it seems we're not just inseparable from our gadgets, they're actually becoming a part of us. How do the rapid advancements in tech make you feel? Do you think we're improving the quality of our lives, or do you think that we're headed on a path of irreversible self-destruction? Share your thoughts. Back in 2005, a company driver decided to take a leisurely walk through the woodlands of Quebec, Canada. As he was walking through, he came across these beautiful waters in the middle of the forest below. He decided to take a few pictures and some videos. After he retired home to review the footage, it was then that he saw a strange creature looking up at him. The creature was standing behind some bushes on the right side of the image. Do you see it? Initially, he thought it was a Bigfoot, but this one looked very different. It was bipedal and about 6 to 8 feet tall. It had a dog-like face, unlike a Bigfoot, and had a longer snout. The head of the creature was triangular with silver hair on it going all the way to its shoulder, but the rest of its body hair was black. The creature was also holding a white furred animal in its hand that looked like a dog, and its face had a red stain on it. So our guess is that this creature was munching on this dog. What creature are we looking at here, though? Many in the paranormal community believe it's a dogman. Looking at it, I don't blame them for thinking so. You have seen it too, so what are your thoughts?
There are countless strange and questionable things in the world, but one thing that has truly left me speechless is this particular footage. In the clip, you can see a brick house with a massive elephant inside, gradually breaking through the wall to escape. This isn't just any elephant, it's an enormous creature. As it demolishes the wall bit by bit, it becomes evident that the room it was trapped in is surprisingly small. There's no visible entry large enough for such a huge animal to have gotten inside in the first place. The big question then is, how did this creature get in there? The footage defies logic and raises intriguing possibilities. Could the elephant have been somehow teleported into the room? How else could this creature have gotten inside? Well, some commenters on the original post had funny things to say. As funny as these sound, one caught my eye. So what if, just what if? I never thought I would see the day when fish would be walking on land, but here we have 3 fish moving in a straight line crossing the road to a water nearby. This is something you'd expect to see in a cartoon, not in real life, so what's going on here? One commenter said it was because of evolution, which is a rather interesting and slightly disturbing take. Another commenter, however, shared that this is a feature of a fish called the climbing perch. The climbing perch is known for its ability to survive out of water for extended periods and move across land using its gills and fins, so nothing to see here. Just a family of climbing perch out on a walk. Someone found this strange-looking sea snake in the waters and brought it home. The snake has these strange green things on its skin. They look like fur or hair of some sort, but aren't snakes supposed to have scales? Well, there's a hypothesis. Some believe these are sea snakes. Yes, they're sea snakes, and they're known to spend a significant amount of time submerged in water. The hypothesis is that algae or other marine organisms can attach themselves to their bodies. Seaweed and other plant-like organisms are believed to be able to provide camouflage by blending the snake's appearance with its surroundings. It's believed that's what we're seeing here. If this is the case, the belief is that it's supposed to make it less conspicuous to predators or prey. Additionally, this type of symbiotic relationship can offer protection by potentially deterring predators that may mistake the snake for something unpalatable. Unless, of course, they love salads. What do you think? This terrifying footage from Russia allegedly shows us the moment a meteorite struck Earth in 2013. As you can see, as cars are going back and forth, there was a huge flash in the sky. The 2013 Chelyabinsk meteor event made people more aware of the dangers associated with objects from space coming into Earth's atmosphere. I certainly wouldn't want to be anywhere near any of these when they crash. I'd definitely love to live a bit longer. A subscriber reached out for assistance in identifying a strange creature that was captured in footage that they allegedly recorded. The footage showed the creature standing in someone's compound behind a railing, appearing to be an alien or goblin-like figure. The creature stood awkwardly facing the camera, but its features were difficult to discern due to the lighting conditions, as it was late in the evening. Suddenly, another creature appeared out of nowhere behind the first one and ran across the compound out of the camera's view. This caused the first creature to flee as well. Once we got the clip and info, we decided to analyze it to see if we could determine where and when it was shot. It didn't take too long for us to discover its origins, though. A team member saw a similar clip on one of the paranormal platforms, and that's when we discovered this was not real, but a cutscene from a video game called Abe's Odd World. A hiker captured a video of a mysterious object while out on a walk. He does appear to be filming from a mountainous location with cloudy weather. Despite being cloudy, the silhouette of a large craft could be seen hovering over a mountain with some intricate structure on it. Anyone who sees this will scream, "Alien!" Unless, of course, they've seen the movie District 9. A large chunk of those who saw it called it a UFO, while others speculated it might be a military base. However, one person pointed out that the video had to be fake as this was a scene from the movie District 9. This led to a debate among internet users, with some stating it was the real deal, while others thought it was nothing more than just a hoax. Despite this controversy surrounding the video, it remains a mystery as to what the object was. What do you think? Do you believe that the video is authentic, or do you subscribe to the idea that it's a hoax? We all heard of the tragic fires that burnt down Chile not long ago. News coming from there now is that the residents are now painting their roofs and properties blue. Now you might be wondering what blue has to do with anything. This has to do with DEW, direct energy weapons. Some conspiracy theories suggest the fires might be a result of these mysterious weapons. They even connect the dots between the Chile fires and the blazes in Hawaii. They claim that these weapons can't detect the color blue, so by giving their homes a fresh coat, they're basically trying to stay one step ahead of potential disaster. Apparently, many billionaires and millionaires have their private homes in blue coatings. I don't know how true that is, and I refuse to investigate. I was afraid to know the truth. I didn't want to get involved in anything sketchy, but then again, what do you guys think? Now, this is a sweet twist on the concept of bee-friendly.
Be friendly, mi gente, miren la abeja. No lo puedo creer, no lo puedo creer.
Feast your eyes on this viral donut shop making waves on social media. What's all the buzz about? Well, it's not just about donuts, it's about bees carrying out their pollination process right inside the premises. Just take a peek at these industrious bees strolling on the sugary delights. It's a quirky fusion of the culinary and the natural world. Now, the big question: would you ever indulge in treats from such a place where bees are not just customers but pollination partners? What's your take on this unique approach to coexisting with nature? A bold venture, or perhaps a too close for comfort encounter with your baked goods? Yup, a dragon.
Someone actually posted this online as a clip of a real and genuine dragon. Naturally, this has thousands of individuals talking and debating its authenticity, and it's not very surprising. In various cultures, dragons are mythical creatures that are often depicted as large, majestic beings with wings and a serpent-like body. They're believed to have lived on Earth in ancient times. While this has some features similar to the legendary dragon, it has no wings or legs and is slithering up a rock. It's also got a pretty big head with thorns to match. Although it's large, it's not nearly as ginormous as a mythical dragon is expected to be. Naturally, the clip started a debate, with some believing it was real and many more believing it was nothing but CGI work from a movie. Simply put, that creature is not real. While I love dragons, I must say that this clip does have some red flags. I mean, I doubt a real dragon will have let you get that close enough to film it. The clip doesn't appear to be shot by drone or trail cam either, which makes me doubt its authenticity. Nonetheless, everyone is intrigued by the possibility of a real-life modern-day dragon. In fact, a part of me wishes we were wrong and this was the real deal. But hey, that's just me. Also, what do you think? Do you think this could be authentic, or do you side with the masses that this is just CGI? Only the Avatar, master of all four elements, could stop them, but when the world needed him most, he vanished. Well, don't mind me, it had to be done. Someone captured this strange situation in a flowing water body. As the water was rushing, there appeared a strange humanoid figure, but just as quickly as it appeared, it disappeared into the waters. Many people have been trying to come up with theories to explain what caused this strange occurrence. One of the most common suggestions is that there is a gateway in the waters that transported this being to another dimension or civilization. This idea has been fueled by discussions about possible portals around the world, and this occurrence could be seen as evidence of their existence. Some also think that this could have been a water elemental in human form. You know, those ancient mythical beings made entirely of water, often depicted in fantasy as powerful entities capable of controlling bodies of water and associated with the forces of the ocean, lakes, and rivers. However, some skeptics believe that the video has been digitally manipulated using CGI to create the appearance of a humanoid figure in the water. What do you think? Next, we have another mysterious sighting in the air. This time, it's a horizontal-looking object gliding over the woodlands of Colombia. It's the classic story of an unidentified flying object reigniting the age-old question: could it be an alien spacecraft or maybe some otherworldly device? The possibilities are as vast as the starry skies. What do you think of this horizontal marvel? My mind thinks it looks like a frisbee, but the paranormal community says it's extraterrestrial. So let's hear your opinions as well. What do you think we're looking at? Next, you might want to take a look at this strange encounter. As you can see from the clip, someone was burning something when out of nowhere the flames flared up and a bizarre fiery figure took shape. The woman who was standing by the blazing spectacle and the person behind the camera both took a hasty step back, and looking at it, I would have rushed out of the place. But knowing me, I would have returned as well to find out what it was. Having seen it yourself, what do you think it could be? Some in the paranormal community believe this could be a modern-day encounter with a fire demon. According to Aaron, that's most likely the case, but what about you? What do you think is going on here? If you're wondering what you're looking at, allow me to tell you, you aren't the first to have done so. Apparently, this is a Sigbin, a mystical creature from Filipino folklore described as a nocturnal beast that's part goat and part dog. The eerie creature is said to have large ears that can clap like hands and a tail resembling a whip. Its most distinctive feature is its habit of walking backward. Recently, someone shared this footage because they believed it was a Sigbin. The video doesn't show the creature fully, only its back is visible, adding to the mystery and intrigue. According to legend, the Sigbin is not just a bizarre-looking animal, but is also known to be the pet of witches. It's said to have sinister abilities to suck its victims' blood through their shadows, making it a feared entity in Filipino culture. Seeing the footage, I can't help but wonder if this is truly a Sigbin or perhaps some other unknown creature. What do you think? Have you ever come across this before? A lizard-like creature with an extremely long tail that, if not for its 4 legs, you might mistake for a snake. This fascinating creature is called a long-tailed glass lizard. Despite its name, it's not actually a snake, but a type of legless lizard. The long-tailed glass lizard is known for its elongated, slender body and remarkably long tail, which can make up more than 2/3 of its total length. What sets it apart from snakes are its small, almost vestigial legs and the ability to blink with eyelids, a feature snakes lack. These lizards are often found in grassy or sandy areas where they can move swiftly and blend into their surroundings. Their name, glass lizard, comes from their ability to shed their tail to escape predators, much like a fragile piece of glass that can break away. The tail will eventually regrow, but often not to its original length. I came across a post discussing this creature with some wondering if it was real or not. This comment got the whole team in tears. Talk about blending nature with the digital age. Check out this beetle. It's not your ordinary everyday insect. No, this is an electronic masterpiece. Imagine these robotic insects made of cameras and microphones weaving their way into places we'd never suspect. Guess what they could be used for? Spying and planting chaos everywhere. While some argue it's just an art piece, the unsettling truth lingers. If artists can do this, then what about tech experts and scientists? Surely with the advancements we've made in microchips, something like this is possible, yes? Either way, it reminds me of Spy Kids. What about you? Conspiracies about celebrities being reptilians have existed for millennia. In this clip, we see a little girl interacting with Elvis Presley when suddenly she looks seriously at his face. Upon closer inspection, one may notice that one eye looks bigger than the other, almost as if it's morphing or molting. What makes this situation suspicious is that a man comes and blocks his face from the camera and another guy touches his eye. The very one that looks weird. What do you really think is happening? Was he shape-shifting, or was there something else at play here? If only we could find that little girl and ask. I came across this hearing test and thought I'd share it with you all. Apparently, younger people can hear higher frequencies better than older people. As we're always out there in search of the strange and mysterious, it's crucial we can hear the cryptids and paranormal entities when they come lurking. The test is simple. It involves playing a sound at increasing frequencies. As the frequency rises, it becomes more difficult for older people to hear the sound. This is due to our ability to hear high frequencies diminishing with age, a condition known as presbycusis. So let's put this to the test. Watch the video and listen to the tones. Share it in the comments at which age or frequency you stopped hearing the sound. It's fascinating to observe how our hearing changes over time and varies from person to person. Remember, there is no right or wrong answers, and everyone's hearing ability is unique. America has been at the center of many conspiracy theories, and even President Joe Biden has not escaped their reach. While some of these theories seem outlandish, others have, on occasion, turned out to be true. Take a look at this footage.
All of the tax breaks, essentially all the tax breaks.
That's moving naturally.
All of the benefits flowing to the top.
In the video, you can see President Biden talking in an interview. Now, there have been numerous discussions about the president being a robot, but this time, someone pointed out something else. Look closely at his neck. The skin color of his head and his neck are two different shades. His head looks like the male white man we know, but his neck appears darker, like a black man's. What's going on here? The facial movements seem very real, so it can't be a robot. However, some people believe this is someone wearing a real-life mask of the president. Is it possible that we're looking at a high-quality mask, or is it some sort of makeup error? Well, there's a third option. The clip is fake, but still, share your thoughts.
Including going back to the Great Depression.
Okay.
Ever.
A trail cam owner came across this strange image on his device. Take a look. At first glance, he couldn't make out what it was until he enhanced the footage. Once it was enhanced, it appeared to have captured a large creature walking through the dark. The creature was about 7 feet tall. It fits the classic description of a Bigfoot. All who saw the footage in the paranormal community believed it had to be a Bigfoot. My team thinks so too. Personally, well, I don't know. There's something off and I just can't put my finger on it. What do you think we're dealing with here? Nature's heartwarming moments. Take a moment to soak in the beauty as a generous monkey shares its apple with a tortoise. It's like a scene straight out of a harmonious jungle tale. There's something profoundly beautiful about witnessing different creatures showing kindness and sharing in their unique way. Don't you agree? I don't remember the last time someone shared their apple with me. Well.
Now, after a potentially groundbreaking discovery last year, NASA's James Webb Space Telescope is being used to investigate tentative evidence of a sign of life.
During a recent interview with the LBC network, Professor Niku Madhusudan, an astrophysicist at the University of Cambridge, discussed the possibility of finding life on the exoplanet K2-18b.
Okay, well, what would be the best result in terms of what you could find?
So there are two end-member scenarios, so to speak. So we might find a very strong signal of dimethyl sulfide, showing us that robustly it is there in the atmosphere of this planet. And that would be quite remarkable.
According to Professor Madhusudan, there is a 50-50 chance of discovering life on K2-18b, which is located approximately 110 light-years from Earth in the constellation Leo. K2-18b is considered a super-Earth and is believed to have a similar composition to our planet. The exoplanet orbits a red dwarf star and is positioned within the star's habitable zone where the temperature is just right for liquid water to exist. While the discovery of life on K2-18b would be groundbreaking, Professor Madhusudan cautions that there is still much research that needs to be done before any definitive conclusions can be drawn.
The consequences are immense because you have to realize this is the first time we are seeing an Earth-like biomarker, would be seeing if it's confirmed.
Nonetheless, the possibility of finding life beyond our solar system is an exciting prospect and one that continues to captivate the scientific community and the public alike. Wouldn't you agree? Have you had a chance to see the video of the mysterious object in the sky yet? According to reports, someone captured footage of a fascinatingly unique glowing object hovering in the night sky. The object has an unusual shape that's transparent and, if you ask me, mesmerizing. It's difficult to determine the exact size of the object, but it does appear to be large. Although the cameraman struggles to keep it in focus, the object does appear to be stationary for an extended period. We're not sure what this is supposed to mean, but if this is real, then there's the need to find answers. What do you think, though? Is this authentic? If it is, what do you think we could be dealing with? The
Lockheed CL-1201 was a proposed high-speed aircraft developed by Lockheed in the 1960s. It was developed to be a supersonic transport capable of carrying about 250 passengers at speeds faster than Mach 2. Comparing it to a famous building, the wingspan of the CL-1201 would be comparable to the height of the Statue of Liberty, while its length would be equivalent to about two-thirds the length of a football field. The design included a delta wing and 4 engines with a focus on transatlantic flights. Unfortunately, the project didn't advance beyond the concept stage due to various challenges in the US government's decision against developing a supersonic transport. Today, the CL-1201 serves as a historical example of attempts in the 20th century to create practical supersonic commercial aeroplanes. What do you think of it? Is it something you would love to sit in? Tell us in the comments section. We travel back in time to the Canadian mountains in the year 2020. If you are wondering what makes this mountain special, it's simple. A gondola came crashing down the mountain. The incident shook everyone given how neatly its cables were cut. Just in case you didn't know, such cables are typically made of thick steel, and that will require a lot of effort to cut through. Not to talk about the noise and the fact that at least 3 men are needed to do it successfully in at least 15 minutes. Here's the thing though, the security saw and heard nothing. How were they cut then? Well, no one knows. This man suggests that the culprit might be none other than the elusive Sasquatch. Why? Because according to him, no human could pull off such a risky feat without getting caught. After the incident, security was beefed up and they even had thermal cameras. But after spending millions to fix the cable and upgrade the security, the incident repeated again, with no culprit caught. The only difference was this time they captured footage of a massive creature roughly 8 to 9 feet tall. There are not a lot of humans that fit this bill. Could it be the work of a Sasquatch, as the man says, or is there a more ominous reason? Share your thoughts.
An individual managed to capture a striking image of this massive, thick, glowing white ring in the sky. While some natural phenomena, such as weather patterns or atmospheric disturbances, can potentially create such spectacles, it's difficult to ignore the possibility of a portal situation. The ring appeared to be stationary in the sky without any visible motion or changes in shape. The edges of the ring were well defined and seemed to emit a bright white light. The center of the ring was slightly darker but still emitted a faint glow. This phenomena has left many people wondering about its origin and purpose. About a quarter of the team at Classified Captures think this might be some natural phenomenon. Another quarter think this might be a portal and remain sitting on the fence or thinking it's a hoax. What about you? What do you think? Looks like it's raining fish. Literally. I mean, if this was a thing, there'd be no need for fishing. Just to make sure we're seeing the real thing, the man filming walks over and picks up a wiggling fish on the road. This is quite a sight to see. But how is this even possible? Well, some suggested a portal may be involved, whisking the fish from one realm to another. It's a captivating idea given the unusual nature of the event. But then there are the skeptics, quick to dismiss the spectacle as nothing more than a hoax concocted with CGI or AI, and yet others propose a more grounded explanation, that this is simply an instance of animal fall or fish rain caused by a waterspout. And indeed, that seems to be the most logical and potentially likely explanation. After doing some research, I discovered that when a waterspout forms, it can sweep up fish from bodies of water and deposit them elsewhere when it dissipates, creating the illusion of a fish rain. So, while the idea of portals and otherworldly phenomena may be tantalizing, sometimes the truth is a bit more down to earth. Back in 1997, a man named Mel Waters made a chilling call to a popular radio show, sharing an eerie story about a mysterious deep hole located on his property. Mel was baffled by the existence of the hole. He had no idea how it got there or what it truly was. But what really caught everyone's attention was the strange phenomena associated with it. For starters, animals seemed to have an instinctive fear of the hole. They would refuse to go near it, almost as if they sensed something ominous about it. Yet the trees and plants surrounding the hole thrived unusually well, creating an eerie contrast to the otherwise unsettling aura of the area. As Mel's story gained traction, it caught the attention of the military. They swiftly took over the property, specifically targeting the hole. Suddenly, Mel was barred from accessing his own land, and when he questioned their presence, he was given a vague and suspicious explanation. They claimed to be investigating a plane crash, but there was no signs of wreckage or debris, no evidence to support their story. The military's actions only deepened the mystery. They brought in all sorts of gadgets and radios to conduct their investigation, but there was one major problem. The radios would malfunction whenever they got too close to the hole. It was as if the hole had its own energy field, interfering with electronic equipment. But perhaps the most unsettling detail of all was the hole's seemingly bottomless nature. Mel had tried to measure its depth by lowering fishing lines into it, but they never hit the bottom. The hole just seemed to go on forever. What exactly was this hole? Why did the military take such a keen interest in it? This video is a classic piece of footage dating back to 1967, captured at the PJ Trackway. It features large tracks embedded in the ground, believed by many to be the footprints of Bigfoot. These tracks have sparked countless debates and theories over the years. Some argue that the size and depth of the prints suggest a creature of considerable weight and stature, much larger than any known animal in the region. Skeptics, however, often suggest alternative explanations such as hoaxes or natural formations. What do you think? Could these tracks really be evidence of Bigfoot, or is there a more mundane explanation? Have you ever experienced a situation where someone claims that they saw you in a place at a time when you were in a very different place somewhere else? Recently, a woman shared a bizarre experience on YouTube. Take a look. She received a video from the police one morning that showed her crawling around a car strangely and inhumanely, almost as if she were possessed. The footage was from her neighbor's security camera. What makes this story creepier is that the woman in the video was her, but she's absolutely certain that she was at home sleeping at the time and has no recollection of being outside. Some people suggested that she could have been sleepwalking, while others mentioned the possibility of the woman being on Ambien, a medication known to cause strange behavior. However, the woman did not mention that she was on any medication. Another theory that people have suggested is that the woman in the clip could be a shapeshifter. Shapeshifters are creatures that can transform into different shapes or forms, and some people believe that they exist in our world. One commenter even suggested that either possessed people or shapeshifters don't need to eat you to look like you, like a skinwalker supposedly does. If this is to be believed, it means there's a being going around her city or township, shape-shifting into her and probably other individuals and doing weird stuff. It's definitely bizarre and hard to explain. What do you make of it, though? Here we have another object that was seen in the sky. It was an oddly shaped-looking craft, or whatever this is, that was rotating in one place in the sky. Could this be some type of new technology being tested out? A glimpse into the future of aerial innovation? Or perhaps it's just a drone buzzing about in the skies above? While you think of answers to this, remember that this was captured in the sky from what appears to be the window of a plane. If this is real, it must have taken some effort to keep all passengers quiet. But don't let me make you think this might be a hoax. What are your thoughts? This year in Peru, a series of astonishing sightings have left both locals and tourists scratching their heads. Visitors to the remote mountain regions have reported seeing a strange disc-like object suspended in the sky. What makes these reports particularly intriguing is the object's unusual characteristics. It isn't just an ordinary UFO sighting. It's an orange glowing disc which doesn't seem to have a solid, tangible form. Instead, it appears to be more of a light source hovering eerily above the mountain terrain. Witnesses have noticed that it appears almost ethereal with a glow that fluctuates in intensity. Some believe it could be an advanced form of natural atmospheric phenomenon, perhaps linked to the unique conditions in the Peruvian Andes. Others suggest it might be a reflection of some sort, caused by something within the mountains themselves, perhaps even a hidden source of energy. What do you think this mysterious orange disc could be? Now, I thought I'd bring this clip back to share a different perspective someone shared after I posted it. For a bit of context and for those seeing it for the first time, during this snowy night, an observer noticed something rather peculiar. Half of the area showed snow visibly falling, while the other half remained clear with no snow in sight. At first glance, this looks like some kind of glitch in reality, a strange occurrence where nature seems divided. I did share my opinions in the previous video, but another individual here pointed out that the area where you can see the snow falling has lights installed on the ground, making the snowflakes visible as they descend. The other half without the lights hides the snowfall in the darkness. According to him, it's nothing more than an interesting visual trick that plays with our perception. What do you guys think, though? What do you think these creatures in the sky could be? No, well, go ahead and guess. Done? Did you by any chance guess mosquitoes? Yes, they are, in fact, mosquitoes. Residents of Kamchatka, Russia, were in for a surprise when they were forced to evacuate the streets and stay inside their homes with all the doors and windows locked due to a mosquito infestation that, much like a storm, had taken over the entire area. The sheer number of mosquitoes was astounding, making it impossible to even step out of the house without being covered in them. The swarm was so thick that it was hard to see anything beyond it, creating a hazy atmosphere that made it difficult to breathe. The last one was a bit of an exaggeration, but you get the idea. While dealing with a few mosquitoes is easy with a swat or a clap of your hand, this swarm was far beyond anyone's control. The residents had to stay indoors and wait for the situation to be resolved before they could venture out again. The authorities worked tirelessly to eliminate the swarm, but it took several days of fumigation and spraying before the area was safe again. I don't know, but it makes me want to add the location to the list of places I would want to visit. So what say you? Would you try this weird Oreo cookie? The cream in the Oreo looks to be pulsating or moving. Could this be a real-life Oreo creation or perhaps just a clever trick of CGI? It's tough to say for certain without more information. As for me, well, I'm all for trying new things, but I think I might pass on this particular cookie. The pulsating cream gives me a bit of pause, you see. But hey, for those brave souls willing to take the plunge, who knows? It might just be a deliciously bizarre treat after all. Now that I think about it, who knows? I might actually try it. This is candid footage captured by one of 4 adventurous hikers exploring the breathtaking wilderness of Hawke's Bay near the serene Lake Waka Rim. The group was making their way across a seemingly sturdy suspension bridge suspended high above the waters below. As they walked, laughing and enjoying the stunning views, the unimaginable occurred. The bridge gave way beneath their feet, collapsing with a sudden and terrifying force. 3 of the hikers were sent plummeting 30 feet into the icy waters below. Miraculously, despite the heart-stopping fall, none of them sustained serious injuries, though the experience left them shaken. The bridge, which had been deemed safe for up to 10 people, was a familiar route for many hikers in the area. With this in mind, the group felt assured as they stepped onto it, unaware of the danger lurking beneath. However, one of the hikers later recalled hearing a strange, ominous thud moments before the collapse. Taxes are often seen as one of the most frustrating parts of living, especially in the US. You work hard, get your paycheck, and before you even get a chance to budget, a significant portion has already been taken away by taxes. We're told that these taxes fund the government, but take a look at this footage and let me know how you feel about what's being said.
Government is financed by treasury bonds. And who buys the treasury bonds? Mostly the Fed. And how does the Fed buy them? By printing money.
The man in the video claims that taxes don't actually fund the government. Instead, he explains that the government is funded through treasury bonds, which are bought by the Federal Reserve using printed money. Essentially, they're making money out of thin air. If that's the case, why don't they just print more money and eliminate these high taxes? It makes you wonder, if they can create money like this, what's the point in taxing us so heavily? Could it be that it's all just an illusion designed to keep us working hard and depending on the government? What do you think of this perspective?
The real problem is that you pay high taxes only to uphold the illusion that you are funding the government, which you are not.
Next, we got a woman who had a really strange conversation with her daughter. The girl started talking about the world beginning again, which was quite an unusual topic. Take a listen.
The world will begin again.
Uh-huh. What else did you say?
Other people will come on the world.
Okay.
That's what I said.
Well, what was the other part?
What other part?
About everybody dying? What were you saying?
More people will come on the earth.
Okay. Why did you think that?
Because it's what the world begins like.
Oh.
When I die,
Uh-huh.
I will come back and I'll be a baby and I'll have a different name.
Okay.
And you'll have a different.
Okay.
So that's what I said.
All right. Thanks, P.
It's what I have to say, and it's sad.
Yeah, it does sound sad.
I had to say something sad.
Okay.
So that's why I just talked to you.
Okay, thanks, P.
You're welcome.
Okay.
The girl even mentioned that she would die and come back to life as a different person, like reincarnation, and she talks about people coming on Earth. This had Aaron excited and trying to decode what she said. He wondered if they're referring to some sort of alien invasion. I know you may want to dismiss this, but this isn't the first time kids have been caught talking about these kinds of things. One commenter even stated that this girl might be an indigo child. For those unfamiliar with the term, indigo children are believed by some to be a new generation of kids with special, sometimes supernatural abilities or insights. They're often described as being highly intuitive, spiritually aware, and possessing a strong sense of purpose. What do you think, though? Are the words of this little girl worth paying attention to, or do you think her mother put her up to it? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section.
Will come on the world.
Okay.
That's what I said.
This is our old cemetery. This one has some wording on it.
This man was out on the sea when he came across a cemetery that was buried by the water. Some houses were submerged in the water as well. This eerie site, or should I say sad site, is part of the Falcon Reservoir. The Falcon Reservoir, built in 1952, lies 40 miles southeast of Laredo, Texas. When it was constructed, several communities, including their houses and cemeteries, were submerged underwater. As of June 13, 2024, Falcon Reservoir was only 9.7% full, exposing more of these submerged structures than usual. The low water levels have uncovered many graves and homes. Has any one of you lived or had a family that was close to this area? Can you share your stories or experiences?
A water well, another house, and another house.
Have you ever heard of a place called Blind Frog Ranch and Skinwalker Ranch? These places are shrouded in mystery with tales that have been passed down through generations. Both locations have become infamous for the strange and unexplained phenomena that seems to occur there.
They've seen people actually turn into different animals, like a coyote.
The cows, they'd find them in the morning all mutilated.
I believe that they've always been here.
The most chilling stories come from the indigenous people who once inhabited these lands. They spoke of the Skinwalker, a creature capable of taking the form of any living being. This wasn't just a mythical creature to them, it was a terrifying reality. The Skinwalker was believed to be a powerful witch who could transform into animals, using this ability to carry out its dark deeds. Imagine the fear of seeing someone in your village turn into a wolf, a coyote, or even a bird right before your eyes. And then, as the sun rose in the morning, finding your livestock brutally mutilated with no clear explanation. The terror these people must have felt is hard to comprehend. Even today, stories of strange encounters and unexplainable events continue to surface from both Blind Frog Ranch and Skinwalker Ranch. People report seeing unidentified lights in the sky, hearing disembodied voices, and feeling an overwhelming sense of dread when they step foot in these lands. What is it about these places that attracts so much mystery? Are they really haunted by skinwalkers, or is there something else at play?
The cows, they'd find them in the morning all mutilated.
I believe that they've always been here.
This strange orb was seen flying in the sky, capturing the attention of onlookers. It appeared much larger than a typical star and moved with a speed and precision that defied the usual patterns of celestial bodies. Orbs like this are often linked to extraterrestrial phenomenon, fueling speculation about their origin and purpose. Unlike conventional aircraft or known astronomical objects, these orbs exhibit behavior that suggests advanced technology or intelligence moving in ways that seem calculated, almost as if they're being guided by something beyond our understanding. This sighting adds to the growing number of unexplained aerial phenomena reported worldwide. What are your thoughts? Now, look at this.
Cause what the fuck is this? Bitch just over here munching away.
A woman was enjoying her fries and chicken when she noticed a weird-looking piece of chicken. This piece was shaped like a four-legged creature with a tail and head. You don't need to be a psychic to know we're all thinking this looks like a mouse. There have been numerous instances where people have found rats and other creatures fried up with their meals, and that's a very disturbing thought. However, in this case, it could also just be a piece of chicken that's oddly shaped. But let's have some fun with this. What do you guys think we're dealing with? Wrong answers only. This next footage really put the horror in Airbnb. A man had booked an Airbnb in Dayton, Ohio. As he was exploring the house, he discovered a basement and decided to check it out, only to come across something unsettling.
Yo, I just came from my Airbnb. Went to the basement and look at this shit. Y'all, don't do Airbnb. Oh my motherfucking God.
The room was dark, with strange patterns on the walls. There was an eerie-looking bed made from an old mattress and a side table that appeared to be a rock on some rusted metal. Lit candles were placed on the table, and leaves were hanging from the ceiling over the candles, eerily swinging. Another table, also made of rocks and wood, had leaves hanging above it and a book on top. The entire setup looked like some sort of shrine. Why would someone rent out an Airbnb with such a haunting room in it? This discovery has me freaked out. I feel like I'd need to thoroughly check every part of a house before renting it because this is just not right. What would you do if you encountered something like this in an Airbnb? Also, Aaron believes this is very real. Do you? A woman took her child to McDonald's for a meal. After getting their order, she tossed some fries on the ground outside her home, thinking birds or other animals would eat them. But the next day, she noticed something strange. The fries were still there, looking the same as they did the day before.
Well, yesterday I went to McDonald's to get my daughter a Happy Meal because she wanted one of those crop collectible thingies or whatever. So I'm like, okay.
Nothing had touched them. No birds, no animals. And when she looked closer, she noticed that the ants that had tried to crawl over the fries were all dead.
And then if you look close, there's a bunch of black ants on them. The black ants are stiff. They're dead. Not even moving. So it seems as if they attempted to eat the fries.
Turns out, McDonald's fries aren't just potatoes, oil, and salt like we think. They're coated with chemicals that keep them looking fresh for days, preventing them from rotting like natural food should. Now, if these fries can't decay or break down, imagine what happens when we eat them. They're one of the unhealthiest fast food items, yet McDonald's serves millions of customers every year. If even insects won't eat them, should we? Also, I came across this comment in the original post. Yeah, Bill Gates. So I did a quick search, and this is what I came up with. What you do with this information is totally up to you.
Not even moving. So it seems as if they attempted to eat the fries.
This footage was taken in Peru on February the 9th, 2025. Two people were at the beach during sunset when they noticed something strange in the distance. At first, it just seemed like a dark shape moving on the water, but as they looked closer, they realized that the figure appeared humanoid, as if someone was walking on the surface of the ocean. Now, we all know that humans cannot walk on water, so what exactly are we looking at? Some believe this could be an optical illusion, possibly caused by the lighting and the reflecting of the setting sun. Others suggest that this is otherworldly, perhaps a spirit, a cryptid, or even a supernatural entity. There's also the possibility of this being doctored footage, but you've seen it, so what do you think?
Están caminando sobre el agua. ¿Qué fue?
¿Qué es eso?
¿O qué es eso? ¿Un pingüino o un delfín?
Supposedly the alien said, which I thought was interesting, was military people that had him ask, is your technology natural? It said everything is natural. Now, I don't know that I believe that totally, but everything has to come from one source, right? To a certain extent, even the devil came from God, right? Is technology a natural extension of humanity.
In an intriguing interview, Tony Merkels shared his experience interacting with an alien creature. During their conversation, he claims to have inquired about the source of their advanced technology. The response, according to him, was surprising. The alien explained that their technology was entirely natural, not built or engineered as humans understand it. Merkels then elaborated on the alien's perspective, suggesting that all humanoid beings, from Bigfoot to extraterrestrial entities, originate from the same source as humans. The difference, he claims, arises because these beings took different evolutionary or developmental paths. While humans pursued a path heavily reliant on technology, these beings chose an alternative, non-technological path. This theory is both fascinating and controversial. If true, it can imply a shared cosmic ancestry for various humanoid species, with a divergence being shaped by their environments, choices, or adaptations. The idea that Bigfoot and other cryptids are humanoid beings on a separate evolutionary trajectory adds an intriguing twist to the discussion. What do you think?
Supposedly the alien said, which I thought was interesting, was military people that had him ask, is your technology natural? It said everything is natural. Now, I don't know that I believe that totally, but everything has to come from one source, right? To a certain extent, even the devil came from God, right? Is technology a natural extension of humanity?
Over here, bro. Oh my god, bro. Oh my god. It hit over here, bro. It's behind the houses now.
A couple in Arizona was driving home late at night after an evening out when they noticed something unusual as they approached their driveway. Hovering above one of their neighbors' houses were two strange objects. The couple immediately began recording, capturing footage of the crafts. As you can see, these are not drones or helicopters. The objects are circular with lights glowing around their edges, hovering in the night sky. In the background, you can hear the couple reacting in shock and disbelief, their voices filled with awe and fear as they try to make sense of what they're seeing. What do you think these objects are? Could this really be a UFO?
Oh my god. It hit over here, bro. It's behind the houses now.
This bizarre footage comes from a village in Uganda where residents woke up to find something strange on a mango tree. One of the mangoes had what appeared to be a human face. You can clearly see a nose, eyes, and mouth forming on the fruit, and as word spread, the entire community rushed to see it for themselves, snapping pictures and debating what it could mean. In many villages, folklore and spiritual beliefs are taken seriously. Some locals firmly believe that this could have been a person, perhaps someone who was caught stealing and was punished by their ancestral spirits and transformed into the very fruit they tried to take. There are countless legends of people turning into objects, animals, or plants as a form of divine justice. So to them, this isn't just a deformed mango, it's a warning. However, others argue that this is just a natural phenomenon possibly caused by disease, genetic mutation, or even insect damage affecting the fruit's growth. So could this truly be a cursed thief, or is nature simply playing tricks on us? Across the U.S., people are recording a bizarre and unexplained sound coming from beneath the ground. Take a listen to this footage. If you focus, you'll notice it sounds like a heartbeat, but much faster.
There's something under the ground, and it sounds like it's about to bust out.
Reports have been pouring in from Tennessee, Kansas, California, you name it. Some people say the sound even made their houses vibrate. But despite so many recordings and first-hand accounts, there's been no official explanation for what this could be. Some believe this could be a natural phenomenon, like the earth shifting or even a warning sign of an impending earthquake. Others think this might not be natural at all. I mean, What if massive underground machines are being used to build tunnels under our feet? I know it sounds crazy, and of course with no solid proof, it's just a theory. When you think about it, all we have are theories because there's no official word. We've got an audience and family in the US. Has any of you experienced this? What do you think is happening down there?
There's something under the ground, and it sounds like it's about to bust out.
A man and his neighbors had been hearing strange and bizarre sounds at night. While they'd become accustomed to hearing these sounds, it didn't sound like any animal they knew. This both frightened and intrigued them, but no one was going to risk their lives to find out what it was, until our man filming did. In the dark, he could see something move, albeit it was very dark, so he couldn't really see its full form. By some stroke of luck, he was able to take some pictures, and after working on them for a bit, they came out a tad clearer. But what he had captured was unclear. He uploaded the captures online, and many opinions came up. Some thought he'd captured a raptor, which is a small to medium-sized bipedal theropod known for its sharp claws, agility, and carnivorous nature. Some also thought it looked more like a terror bird, which is a large, flightless predatory bird from the Cenozoic era, known for its powerful beak, strong legs, and ability to chase down prey in prehistoric ecosystems. The thing with these two suggestions is that they are extinct. This hasn't, however, stopped some from thinking and believing this is the real deal. There's a popular belief among some paranormals that dinosaurs may not be as extinct as we thought, and may just be hiding within the hollow earth and resurfacing once in a while. Wild, I know, but do you have another explanation for this?
So this USB cable right here cost me over 350,000 naira. The question is why? This is just an ordinary cable that you can plug into your iPhone and it charges the phone. But this is not just an ordinary USB cable. This is actually a hacking tool.
Have you ever borrowed a phone charging cable? You might want to think twice before doing it again. A new type of USB cable has surfaced, and it poses a serious security risk. This innocent-looking cable has an inbuilt memory chip and functions as a hacking tool. When you plug it into your phone to charge, your device powers up as expected, but that's not all. Unbeknownst to you, the person who gave you the cable can gain unauthorized access to your phone. They can retrieve sensitive data, passwords, and other personal information without you ever realizing it. Originally, this type of cable was reportedly used by the NSA as part of their high-level surveillance operations. However, after an internal memo was leaked, the technology made its way into the mainstream, where it can now be exploited by cybercriminals. So always be cautious about those cables you are using. Carry your own charging equipment whenever you go out to avoid falling victim to this sneaky method of hacking.
And these cables come in all forms, type A, type C, even lightning like this one. And here's the funny thing, it works on both iOS and Android seamlessly.
Who are you talking to?
A woman had lost her brother 2 months ago. It was a devastating loss, especially because her toddler daughter had been very fond of her uncle. One night, while the woman was in the kitchen, she noticed something deeply unsettling. Her daughter was sitting in the high chair, but she wasn't just sitting there. She was talking to someone. The problem is, there was no one else in the room, and then the woman heard what the toddler was saying. The little girl kept repeating the words, "Uncle, no." She sounded like she was interacting with someone as if she was responding to a real person. The mother asked her daughter who she was talking to, but the little girl ignored her and she shushed her as if not wanting to be interrupted. The woman started to believe that her brother's spirit had returned to visit his favorite niece. But what truly convinced her was when she rewatched the security footage. As she watched, she noticed something she hadn't seen before. There was a very faint male voice in the background. It was almost inaudible, but when the woman heard it, her heart stopped. It was her brother's voice. So what do you think? Was this truly her brother's spirit, or was it just a trick of the mind?
Evelyn, who are you talking to? Who are you talking to?
A man was remodeling his home when he started experiencing strange occurrences. Ever since the renovations began, he claimed to have seen and heard unexplainable noises all over his property. Even his friends who were helping with the work said they felt an eerie presence in the house. One night, he received a security cam notification. His system had detected a person in the hallway. Curious, he checked the footage, but no one was there. The house was locked, so no one should have been inside. As he kept watching, he noticed this, a shadowy figure on the floor, standing there without an actual person casting it. He rewound the footage, trying to find any explanation, but there were no visible sources for the shadow. It remained there for a while, then vanished completely. The man hasn't shared whether the house has a history of hauntings, so there's no way to know if something was already lingering there. However, some believe that the renovations may have disturbed a dormant entity, possibly uncovering something that was never meant to be found. This is my kind of mystery, but not one I'd love to live and experience. But what do you guys think?
This is a beautiful video. There you can see the clouds behind.
In 2007, Antonio Ursi, a man known for his UFO sightings, captured a remarkable piece of footage. The video, taken from a window on his roof, shows a UFO in the sky in stunning clarity. Ursi has reportedly seen UFOs numerous times flying over the area before, and he managed to document several of these encounters on video. His recordings gained attention for their vivid detail, sparking debates within the UFO community about their authenticity. While some believe Ursi's footage to be genuine evidence of extraterrestrial craft, others argue it could be fabricated or misinterpreted phenomenon such as drones or reflections. Nonetheless, the sharpness and consistency of his footage continue to intrigue researchers and enthusiasts alike. What's your take on Ursi's work?
This is a beautiful video. There you can see the clouds behind.
Están todos viendo lucecita allá adelante. El envío se ha zarpado. Buenísimo. Es un ovni.
I know that clip may have taken you off guard and stunned you, but I doubt you're as stunned as the individuals in this clip. They all noticed this unnatural and eerie red glow in the sky and decided to take a photo. We're not told where this is, but one person uploaded it to our paranormal pages, and a debate started right away. Some were convinced it had to be UFOs, whereas others thought we were dealing with nothing but a strange yet natural phenomenon. They even suggested it might be a celestial body or planet seldom seen. I know all of this is intriguing, but which of these do you think might be the actual truth?
Están todos viendo lucecita allá adelante. El envío se ha zarpado. Buenísimo. Es un ovni.
There was an incident where a piece of ice went through the next door neighbors. The neighbor next door saw the ice fall from the sky.
A resident in Florida called the police and fire department after hearing a loud crashing sound. Some authorities arrived and they discovered a huge dent in the roof of the house.
Fire department, police officers here trying to figure out, obviously it had to have come from a plane.
As they investigated, a neighbor came forward and claimed to have seen what caused the damage. It was a massive block of ice that had fallen from the sky and crashed into the roof. But where did it come from? Some believe it fell from a passing airplane, possibly as frozen waste or leaked water from the aircraft. However, not everyone is convinced by this explanation. Others speculate it could be something more mysterious, maybe even a cover-up for something we aren't supposed to know about. Which do you think is the most likely occurrence?
So there was an incident where a piece of ice went through the next door neighbors. The neighbor next door saw the ice fall from the sky.
A man was hiking deep in the woods when he stumbled upon something strange. It was a cave entrance covered by a metal mesh gate, almost as if it was designed to keep something inside. But what exactly? The structure looked old and abandoned, yet the reinforced gate suggested it once had a purpose. One comment claimed that these caves were used to hold people until they died back in the 20th century. But if that were true, why are they still standing? And why are they hiding so deep in the woods? This made some skeptical, who stated that they believed these caves were once part of an underground bunkers or secret research sites, while others think they were used for containment, but of what, no one knows. All these are theories at this point. If any of you is conversant with the place or has any legit information on it, please share in the comments section.
Möge deine Reise durch diese Welt dich mit wundervollen Augenblicken erfüllen.
When I started collecting clips for today's episode, I was open to a lot of things, but what I wasn't counting on was this, an AI-powered deity. If you were as confused as I am when I originally heard this, it's simple. There's a rendered face of Jesus powered by the power of AI that allows people to ask questions and receive responses. This has actually been installed in a Swiss church to take the confessions, and the intriguing thing is, 2/3 of those who attended to by this AI-powered God claim to have had a spiritual awakening. While I'm not here to argue over people's supernatural beliefs, Julius did mention something which I believe is worth discussing: privacy. The thing with AI is that it's learned by training on data. The likelihood of the confessions and data of the individuals who make them being stored somewhere is very high. This means it can be assessed by whoever is in charge of the whole thing. Beyond these privacy concerns, is an AI-powered God something you're willing and ready to worship and give into? Let's hear your thoughts in the comments section.
Möge deine Reise durch diese Welt dich mit wundervollen Augenblicken erfüllen.
UFO sightings seem to be growing more frequent and vivid lately, and this footage adds to the mystery.
Look at the way it looks! Look! Do y'all see that?
I told you.
That's a UFO, bro.
Right.
It was captured by a group of people one stormy night. The sky was lit with flashes of lightning. The weather was heavy, and rain was just about to fall. As the lightning illuminated the dark clouds, they noticed something unusual. There was a massive, circular object partially visible in the sky. The object appeared to have the classic saucer shape often associated with UFOs. It wasn't fully visible, almost as if it were cloaked or embedded within the clouds, but the brief lightning flashes gave just enough of a glimpse to raise questions. It's hard to dismiss this as just a trick of light. The structure appeared too defined and too deliberate to be a natural phenomenon. Could this be a craft hiding in plain sight?
What is that?
That's a UFO.
Oh shit.
You see it?
Yeah, it looks like a, oh.
What is that? Wait.
Help, 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 help! Help me! Help me! Help me! Help me! Get him off of me! Get him off of me! Get him off of me! Ah!
Now, we've seen some strange things, but this might just be one of the strangest. Just pay attention to the woman's leg. You see it, don't you? Her leg is moving in an unusual way and in an unusual direction. She screams for help, and a man who is presumably her husband shows up to help. She was basically asking him to get off. They uploaded the bizarre experience online, and many who saw it told her husband there was a ghost trying to break his wife's leg. Some suggested a cramp, but from the audio of the clip, it's least likely. Others suggest they were faking it, but we'll let you be the judge of that.
Help me! Help me! Get him off of me! Get him off of me! Get him off of me! Ah!
What is happening here? It looks like it's raining, but the water is red, almost like blood. Could this be blood rain? Well, not exactly. While it looks eerie, this is actually a well-documented phenomenon known as red rain or blood rain. The video was taken on the coast of Sork in Iran, an area known for its rich red soil. When it rains, the water mixes with the fine red dust from the ground, creating an intense blood-like effect on the surface. It may look like something straight out of a horror movie, but it's completely natural. Similar events have been reported in other places around the world, often caused by dust, sand, or even microscopic algae in the atmosphere. Still, it's definitely one of the more unsettling sights nature has to offer. Imagine running into this immediately after a rain. Your first thoughts and impressions would be, this has got to be some sort of insect swarm, right? Well, that's exactly what the individual recording thought until he got closer and realized that they weren't insects at all. So what were they? That's the thing, he doesn't know. They did look like a couple of magnetized metallic fragments that were bonding together. The last time we checked, such a thing shouldn't exist. So what could be going on here? Some think it's the government at it again. They think it's geoengineering or weather modification. Others think it might be alien. A subsect of the paranormal community, however, remains skeptical. They state he could just have tested his hypothesis by deploying a magnet. The lack of a magnet is proof to them the whole thing is fake and made up for likes and views. But what's your opinion? We'd love to know. If you sleep with your phone by your bed, this woman has a message for you. Now, she's not someone we immediately recognize, but a story is one we've heard in the community several times. According to her, she usually slept with her phone on charge by her bed. Also, being the light sleeper that she is, she likes to sleep with some white noise in the background. You know, lightning and rain, that kind of thing. She mentioned that the night before this video was recorded, she was asleep when she heard what sounded like a microphone sound. She woke up, looked around, and realized the sound was coming from her phone. She picked it up to see what was happening, and that's when she saw him. There was a man watching her. She immediately panicked and placed the phone down with the camera facing the ceiling. The man noticed she was up and immediately said, "Come back." Naturally, she didn't oblige and panicked some more. A few seconds later, she heard the man speaking a different language in the background, and that's when she started trying to turn off her phone. She was scared, yet somehow made it through the night. The experience was so scary that it sent her blood pressure through the roof. She shared a story online asking people to be careful about their devices, especially at night, because they never knew who was watching or recording. Some shared similar experiences after she shared her story, but many remained skeptical. They just couldn't fathom or imagine how something like this could work. Naturally, it led to an all-out virtual brawl and debate. When you've heard a story, so what do you make of it?
When I was asleep, I heard like a microphone, like movement, like somebody was moving a microphone. And I thought that I was tripping. So I just laid there. And then I heard it again. So I woke up and I looked at my phone. And I saw a man with his face on the screen watching me. So y'all, I panicked. And I just jumped up out the bed like where he can see me. I just jumped up. And then I grabbed my phone and I turned it up toward the ceiling, like where he couldn't look at me. And he said, "Come back." He told me to come back. Then he started speaking a different language. So I immediately started trying to turn off my phone. I turned my cell phone off. He was still on the phone. And he was speaking in a different language for probably about 30 seconds. And then it finally went away.
And with that, we end today's episode. Thank you for staying with us. Before you go with the clips and videos you think we should have featured by now that we haven't, well, the good news is you can share them with us and we'll post them crediting you. Please send any such footage, including ones you recorded yourself, to us via classifiedcaptures@gmail.com. We'll do our thing and include it in our next episode. We can't wait to receive what you have. I've been Steve. This has been Classified Captures. Share this with someone you love, and I'll see you in the next one.